guys about something that's happened in my life recently. Wow, that's close, isn't it? Anyway, I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you guys about something um, that happens with your trading career. And I've noticed when it comes to my personal trading career and my personal sort of the way that what's actually happened to me with my personal trading, and it's got a lot to do with people who you hang around with. You see, what happens a lot of the times is when we're trying to go and achieve success in trading, right? So trading is actually a hard thing, you know what I mean? Like there's certain things we can actually do. There's certain things we can actually, you know, we can actually learn, right? Pattern recognition and trading systems and mindset and so on and so forth. But I want to come on today, guys, and I want to give you guys a bit of something a bit different that hopefully this helps you guys out when it comes to your trading. There's so many times in my life when I've realized that when I want to achieve something more than just what most people are doing in my life, and when it comes down to your trading, when it comes down to you with your success in general, you know, it it really comes back down to who you're hanging around with because guys, you can become amazing traders. And if you're going through a tough time in your trading, it doesn't mean that's going to stay that way. And it's so important. It's so important to not be listening to people or putting people or hanging around people that are going to pull you down, because success is a long and a hard journey, and you never really get there. You know what I mean? You never really get there. And for me, it's been such a paradigm shift of removing myself from people who are not going to support me, but secondly, who I find are not even going to encourage me. It's just such a powerful thing that I've had to do, in my own personal trading career. Because, guys, back 16 years ago when I first started trading, I had no idea about anything in these markets. No idea about anything. And I realized that, once again, trading is a hard thing, right? And you guys can do well from trading. You really can. You just gotta learn some simple things. Um, and understand how the actual game works when it comes to trading. But it's so important to be applying yourself and to be looking at yourself from looking applying yourself in a way where making those hard decisions of who you spend time with, who you spend time with and who you hang around with, because that's been one of the biggest things that's been a bigger game changer for me, is stop listening to people that are not doing anything in their life. They're not going anywhere in their life. That, because if you want to, and this is one of the things, guys, that I've just found one of the hardest things for me when it comes to success. And as I achieved more success in the markets and made more money from the markets, and I've started to rise above the quote unquote crowd. I have found that I've come to realize that a lot of people who you hang around with right now, unfortunately, you're not going to be part of that group anymore as you succeed and as you move and as you grow. So many times when I was younger, I've been doing trading now for 16 years myself. I've been full time for about 10, 12 years, somewhere around about there, trading full time. Now it doesn't mean I make money every single day, and some months I have bad months, but throughout the year, my income's always gotten better and better and better, every single year. But I find that I've had to let go of people that are not going to support me, are not going to encourage me, and they're not going to be there to uplift me when I need it, and because like who you hang around with is who you become. And so when I first started this journey, I used to go to church, right? Youth group and Bible studies and all that sort of stuff. And it's nothing against church. I still believe in God, but I realized that these people there, it's like I really had to let these people go, because it's like I don't know. I know, yeah. Let me know if you're the same. Like I always believe there's something more inside of me to give, to share, to be, to inspire by. You know, um, and to achieve, like, I know that I know that I deserve more than what I see in my life. This is what I was thinking back, when I first started trading the markets about 16 years ago. And I'm like, there's more to me. There's more than what I'm seeing in these markets right now. There's more to me in my life. And I know that there's more to me. I know that I deserve this success. And, and I'm like, and there's more out there for me. And one of the hardest things for me has had to be continually the hardest thing, but the blessings have always been continually letting people go that are not on the same wavelength. They're like, okay, you're not doing anything in life. You're fat, you're overweight, you're fucking broke right now, and you're not going anywhere in your life. And all you do is complain. Like, this was some of my friends I was hanging around with when I first got part of this journey 16 years ago. And I'm like, I can't be part of this group anymore. I just can't, because it's infecting the way that I'm looking at things. So I had to start seeking out mentors and so on and so forth, and start hanging around people that actually did this full time. And now I've actually been fortunate enough to, with my current mentor, he's a, 8-figure trader, private successful mentor. Anyway, and I realized that I have to make these hard decisions. So when I first started trading, friendships of 15 years, I had to let go. Because it was all about this thinking, right? It's all about the way that I was thinking about myself and the way that things were happening in my life. And I also see that even recently in the last few years that I've had to let go of people in my life that are they're not on the same journey as me. And that's okay as well too, right? It's not that they're bad people. It's like, but you're here. You know what I mean? Like, last year I had to let go of a friend for 7 years. He was a friend to me for 7 years. But he just wasn't going anywhere. He wasn't doing anything in his life. He wasn't doing anything in his life. And so I had to let go of that person for me to become the person that I know that I was meant to and born to live. And that's always the hardest part, right? Because the first part is of this success journey, whatever you're going to call success, really. It's like just a numbers game, really. But the first part is letting go people. It's hard, letting go people and sometimes even partners. I had to do that with my ex-wife. I had to do that with many friends, and I still do this. Like, I become good friends with people, and I realize, like, this is not going to be good for me. You're actually going to be you're going to be dragging me down as I'm moving forward through life. And I just can't have this. And it's not because you're a bad person. It's not because, you're anything. It's just because you're comfortable being comfortable, and I'm not comfortable being comfortable. There's more out there. There's more out there in this life for me. And I'm sorry, I love you, I adore you, but this is my path, and this is my path, and I need to take it. And you have to make and I had to make the decisions. And even just this year, I've had to make the decisions to let go of people that have stopped me, right? Because remember, it's trading is such a hard thing. It really is, and you got to stay. And it's mostly a mindset and emotional game, and whether you're sticking to a system and so on and so forth. But I want to come on today, and I want to just encourage you guys that the two biggest things that's going to screw with your mind so hard is, one, you're going to have to let go of people that are just not willing, that are not wanting to go somewhere, because you just hanging around people, like with me reading books, that's my sort of inspiration. I love reading books now because it really gives me that drive, that kick, you know what I mean? And who you hang around with is who you become. And so I've had to stop hanging around people like that and to continue reading, like major success stories from traders, like the Market Wizards books and so on and so forth, and stuff like that. And then also just success books in general. And, and that's been such a big thing for me is that. So the two things, guys, that's going to screw with your mind so much when it comes to you just trying to achieve above average results. And it's hard, right? It's like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on here? Is firstly, you're going to have to let go of people that are just not good for you. And you're going to make a decision to do that. And that's hard, right? Because like, I love this. I love, we've been mates for 15 years. Again, when I first started, I had to do that. Early last year, I actually had to do the same thing. I made it 7 years. Um, but I'm just like, I need to go, right? I need to take my next steps. There's another step out there for me. There's something else out there. There's something new out there for me. There's something more out there for me. There's something else out there for me. And I need to take this journey. And I don't know what it is, but I feel like I need to go. I'm sorry, mate. I love you. I adore you, but we can't be friends anymore. And I'm off. And I've got to go, right? Like, boom, like, let's make it happen. And that's the first thing. It's like, the more you can do that, the more you can let go of these people that are dragging you down mentally, and the more you get involved with even just reading books about people about success and all this journey. It's like, it's a game changer. It shifts your mindset so much. It really does. And the second thing that's going to really screw with your mind is this. When you actually start to achieve success, and it may take you a while to actually get ahead. So guys, when it comes to your trading, don't quit. Don't quit. I don't care how much things may be hard. I don't care how bad things are. Don't quit. But learn from your mistakes. Learn what you're doing wrong. Are you following a system? Are you following a pattern? Where are you personally going wrong? Don't blame the system or don't blame the educator. You personally find out what's going on, but don't quit. You can become an amazing trader, really can. It may take you 5 years. Heck, it may take you 10 years to become an amazing trader. But that 10-year plan is better than no plan at all and stuck in a bloody dead-end job for the rest of your life earning 50 grand a year. So don't quit. Don't ever quit. Keep learning and keep getting better. Me personally, I blew up $250,000. $250,000 I lost my first 2-3 years before I actually end up getting going. So if I can do it, you guys can. Right? And I'm not perfect. I make mistakes as well too. And I'm getting better and I'm getting better and I'm getting better as well too. But don't quit. Don't ever quit. A 10-year slow grinding plan to become an amazing trader is so much better than spending the next 50 years of your life in a dead-end, bloody dead-end job doing nothing but nowhere, right? So don't quit. You can become an amazing trader. Just find out the success traits. Find out what's going on there. Like, what do you need to do? And again, and that's where, like, the stuff that I teach on this channel and the courses that I have helps you with that. But it's just like, you guys can become amazing traders. You really can. And you can start to achieve a good income. Like a 6-figure income. You can do that. Believe you can. You can. And it may take you 2 or 3 or 4 or even 5 years to start to learn what's right and what's wrong about these markets. Because it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. But if you can stick through the mud, if you can stick through the shit, then on the other side of that, you literally could start to see breakthroughs of like, oh, I can see how these markets work now. I can see how I need to approach these trading. I can see how that I'm trying to get rich quick and I shouldn't be. I should have more of a systematic approach instead of just a fly off the wall approach. I need to have good risk management because there's no guarantees of making money on any given trade. So I need to make sure I'm doing that. I need to have some sort of a system that I believe in. Like all these things, right? You start to look at these like, okay, this is how I need to read the markets. You guys can become amazing traders. You really can. And stop listening to people that are saying, oh, what are you doing trying to do that stock market thing? Oh, it's gambling, it's this. It's like, oh, no, shut up, right? Leave those people alone. So the second thing before I head off to the gym this morning, on my Sunday morning, is this. The people that are most closest to you right now, when you actually start to achieve good results, or just say you start to achieve a 6-figure income, you quit your job, and that's actually what happened to me. I started achieving 6 figures from the markets. I quit my job. I was only trading for, 2-3 hours a day. And now I only trade a couple of hours a day. 1 hour actually trading, and then sometimes an hour throughout the day I might do some analysis looking at some longer term positions that I'm looking to place. But that's my trading now. And people say that's why you're lucky. It's so interesting, guys, because, I just, it's when you start to actually get there, then you're like, why are you so unhappy for me? Why are you cranky right now? What? And then suddenly your friends, your family, sometimes even your partner is going to start to get cranky at you, upset about you, because they have been too gutless in their life to go out there and try to chase something and work through the bloody mud that you have got to go through to get on the other side of this thing. You really, really, really have to, or you really can achieve success, but there's a lot of mud you got to go through, and a lot of mud, and it's sinking sand and all that sort of stuff. But the hardest thing for me, guys, is that I see that all the time in my life. It's like when I start to hang around people that are maybe not doing as well as me financially. It's like, who cares about that? Like, I don't care about that. But I see they treat me differently than they treat someone else. And I'm not sure whether it's just the money that I earn, but I don't really talk about money that much. They may ask me what I do, and I tell them and so on and so forth. Like, what do you do for them? Like, oh, I'm a trader. I trade the markets, and so that's what I tell them, right? But when it comes down to that, or it might be my demeanor. Like, I'm generally a very happy person. I love my health, my fitness. Again, I'm going to head off to the gym very, very soon. And all this sort of stuff. And I'm generally a very, very happy person. But I find, guys, that they start to treat you differently, right? They start to not become happy for you. It's like, and it's like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. And that was the thing that totally screwed my mind. It's like, I thought you'd be happy for me. Like, I've got a mate recently who's been going through a lot of major changes, and I can see his partner is just like creating so much havoc because his partner is not doing anything in her life to actually make the growth. But he's making so much growth, and now because he's moving, she's not doing anything. She's now scared of losing him because he's moving and grooving and doing. That she's creating so much problems in his relationship because of that. So the title of this video, guys, and I want to do something a bit different, a bit more of a live camera with me, is this: be careful who you hang around with, and be careful of what you're listening to. Because I'm telling you right now, guys, success can be yours in these markets, and whatever that means for you, right? You don't need to earn $1 million a year to make an amazing income, or to live an amazing life from trading, right? You don't need $500,000. If you could do 6 figures, now obviously you deserve to make millions of dollars from the markets, and you can do that, right? But even if you wanted to do 50 grand a year or 100 grand a year, you can do that. Believe you can. And stop listening to these bloody bullshit people out there that tell you can't, and they knock you down and all this sort of stuff. Like, don't listen to that. Because please listen to me. I don't care how many times you get knocked back from these markets, as long as you get slammed on your head by these markets, and the markets are going to do that. I'm not here to BS you. The markets are hard and tough and rumble, and they will smack you across the head. Now, fortunately for me, when I go through my bad periods, I've got good risk management. So my account may be down 10% at times, maybe 20% maximum at times when I'm totally screwing up because I've got good risk management. And then all it takes me is just a few good trades and I'm back in profits because of the way that I trade. But please, guys, please listen to what I'm saying here. That if you can achieve so much abundance from these markets and so much freedom. Stop chasing the big money really, really quickly. Stop trying to make the millions and millions of dollars, because you don't need millions and millions of dollars from the markets. Start to approach these markets in a way where, yes, you're going to get knocked down, and the markets are going to flatten you down. The markets are going to push you down so hard, they're going to smack you across the face. That's what these markets do. But if you continue to get back up again and get back up again, and continue to actually look back and say, okay, what am I doing wrong? And take responsibility for you. What am I doing wrong here? What's going on? How am I approaching this? How am I trading? What do I need to improve on? You guys can. And then suddenly 5 years from now, 2025, or heck, I think even if it's 2030 from now, even if it's 2030, and before you know it, 2030's here, and you're making multiple 6 figures from trading. You're spending a couple hours a day looking at the markets, doing your trading, and now you've got all this other free time to go out there and do your gym and do your fitness and take care of yourself and give back to charities and so on and so forth. And before you know it, you're a 7-figure trader, and boom, you go for it. Because that's exactly what's happened to me. It's taken me a long time to get here, but it's like, whoa. But it's like, you guys can. Right? But please don't quit. Don't quit. Don't fall back in just a mundane, trading wasn't for me. No bullshit. Trading is for everyone. You just got to figure out what's best for you. Now, for me personally, what's best for me is only trading a few hours a day, putting positions on and holding them for a couple of weeks, sometimes up to a couple of months. That's my sort of forte from there. That's the way that's my comfort zone. I don't like to trade. I don't like to trade a lot. I don't like to be in and out, in and out, because I can't do that. Over trading, making emotional decisions, I can't do that. But you guys can. So please don't quit. Because going through the mud of trading and the slaps, as long as you continue to learn, it's going to be worth it. The success line when you get there, and even if it's 5 years from now, you got to go through hell and back, is so much more rewarding, and it tastes so much better than settling for the bullshit of a 9-to-5 job for a $50,000 or $60,000 a year income, and going through all that bullshit for the rest of your life and just giving up and get planted in the ground. Because there's more to life than that. So don't settle. There's going to be a lot of bullshit you got to go through, but on the other side of that bullshit, and a lot of stuff that's just so hard sometimes, and stuff that I'm talking about today is like, understanding like who you hang around with and what's going to happen there when it comes to letting go of people. And then when you start to succeed, what's going to happen there? And all that's that mindset stuff. Like, guys, I've been through this. I made like 750 grand one year. And within 2 months, or 750 grand, and within 2 months, I gave literally half that back. And the reason why was because I had started becoming so emotionally uncomfortable with my relationship. I could see she was uncomfortable. So I unconsciously gave that away so I could feel better about being around her, and so she wouldn't feel as bad, and so on and so forth. Because every time I succeeded massively, it's like, I made 750 grand in like 10 months. And she's like, oh yeah, look at you. You think you're good, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh man, I just blew up 200 or 300 grand of that 750 grand, in 2 months. And then she's like, oh, come here, darling, And so now I started getting love from her, which I wanted when I was losing. And it was just a mind crazy thing. So anyway, guys, here's a different story. Here's a different thing. Here's the raw and raw me, guys, when it comes to this. I do my analysis. I do my chart analysis. And yeah, I've totally been wrong a lot lately when it comes to reading these charts. Again, thankfully, I don't trade that way. I just look at the markets for what's happening here. It's been very, very hard, especially with the miners. But it doesn't matter what happens now. It doesn't matter what's happened in the last 3 months. It doesn't matter what happens in the last couple of years in your trading. Don't quit. Don't quit. Because as I said before, a 10-year slow grind, hard process plan is better than no plan at all and just settling for mundane out there. Because there's more to life than what you're achieving right there. There's more to life out there. And even if you can't see it right now, even if you only got a few thousand dollars to your name right now and you're struggling, you can't see things, you can't understand things, that's okay. You will find it. You will find the way. You'll find the process. You will start to get insights and distinctions about what you need to do and how you need to improve and what you need to focus on and how to make this happen. And you start to get better and better and better. And you're gonna make more mistakes. You're gonna learn more, make more mistakes. You're gonna learn more, and it's gonna be a success loop. But please don't quit. Please, please, please don't quit. The markets are gonna slap you across the head. It's gonna slap you across the head as hard as you can look at it. But on the other side of all that, you're going to start to get a bit of rhythm, get a bit of momentum. Doesn't mean it's not going to be easy all the time. No, it's never easy all the time, right? Because most of the time it's controlling your emotions within the trades. Like you might be in a trade and it might go against you. Like recently, I'll get into a trade and when it gets me for a week, but I still have my stop management in place. And then suddenly, 2 weeks later, it turned into a nice 80% profit for me. That actually happened last week. Guys, I'm going to head off to the gym now. I wanted to come on and just give you guys a bit of encouragement, but for the end of this week, guys. There's a lot of stuff out there when it comes to data analysis and fundamentals and inflation and gold and mining stocks and chart analysis and so on and so forth. But when it comes down to it, guys, I believe in you. I really, really believe in you. Just slow down, have a look at what you're doing. Take a lot of responsibility for what you're doing. And if you can take that little bit of pill to swallow, so to speak, of what you're doing on the other side, you can start to get a bit of momentum to you. You'll start to understand How do I get ahead in these markets? How do I trade these markets? How do I protect myself when I'm totally screwing up and things are not working out for me? And then how do I keep moving forward long term? All right, guys, have an amazing weekend, and I'll speak to you guys real soon.